Welcome back from break, everybody. We're back from break.
We are.
That was simple.
Some interesting conversations in chat. Drizzt and Omega Pulsar are discussing wizard limitations. I was just looking at the PHB. It sounds like you cannot write down spells that you don't know. It's
Okay.
not totally clear, but the way they say it, it's like you roll to see if you learn a spell, and then you write it into your book. So you can steal another wizard spell book and hang on to that, you can't write down a spell that you don't understand.
Makes sense because
Like it's basically, yeah, a spell book is basically instructions for how to cast a spell, and if you don't understand the instructions,
you
yeah,
can't
it'd be
cast a
like,
spell. Yeah.
yeah, and you can't write down in when you copy into your spell book, it's basically you translating those instructions into your own words,
Yeah,
and if you don't understand it, you can't translate it.
it'd be like trying to write down instructions for how to do something on a computer without understanding what the instructions are.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, this is how reformat your hard drive, but I don't actually know how to do it. So how am I supposed to write these instructions?
yeah.
I guess I could physically transcribe word for word what the other person did,
But if
but
it's in the language of magic,
yeah,
you fuck up an advanced rune, and then all of a sudden, you get come back to it when you're a higher level, and you're like, "Well, this doesn't make any sense. What did I write here?
yeah, yeah,
Must not have understood."
yeah.
Uh, and you also can't forget spells.
Nope.
That was assumed, but I did find a line in there. It's once you learn it forever. Okay, back to the game at hand. You are in the Elfwood. Been reunited with Michelle, as well as your old driver, Bates.
Batesy.
And
Good
you
old
are at your
Batesy.
parents' house, where you will presumably be staying and resting, and then heading towards the docks in the morning.
Okay. Um. Yeah.
Anything you need to do before you leave town?
Nope.
Connor no longer an alcoholic now that he's reunited with Michelle.
He was never really an alcoholic. He was always just
Just
kind
bored
of
on the road.
yeah, just looking for something to do.
Yeah. So in the morning, the two of you load up into Bates's wagon and you hit the road.
Cool. Uh. Yeah. I know I would know the way to the docks. I've lived here before.
Yeah,
Lived here for
he
ages.
said
Okay. Yeah.
it's a good 4 to 6 hours from the capital. Um, Head towards the coast, and it's a large port city, I guess you'd call it, on the
Mhm.
water.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, shouldn't have any trouble getting there.
Okay.
Um, as long as you lead the way.
Yeah. I lead the way from the carriage and like call out instructions with the door open. Like I'll tie the door shut or tie the door open or something and call out from the carriage
There's a
as we
window
get.
flap you can open. Yeah,
Perfect.
it's not necessarily though like saying you take a left here, you do this, you do that. It's more the intention of your destination.
Okay, but if I can do it while seated in the carriage, I will.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you've got to give Bates some reassurance
No,
and
you're just keep going, Bates.
concentrate on your destination. It's a strange concept for humans to grasp, which is why they have so much trouble navigating the Elfwood.
Right. Okay. I get in some chit chat with Michelle, figure out what's going on, how things have been, and he hasn't seen her in a while, and things are friendly, and Colin is
So
trying to
with
turn down.
and the window's wide open, and you're giving instructions to Bates all the while.
Well, I mean, keep going. Kind of, it
There's a
works
reason
both
they call him
ways.
Master Bates.
I think a lot of the phrases keep going. That's it. Right way. That's it. Don't stop now. Keep going, Bates.
Faster, faster. All right. With your encouragement, you reach the docks.
Hopefully
Uh,
not before we set out. You know. It's a
Yeah,
premature
there's this.
ejaculation joke.
Yeah. Um, so actually, after a few hours, you come to this large river. It's slow, but it's wide, and you travel along it, and eventually you reach the Elven docks. Is a set of large wooden buildings. They're crafted from a white, like tannish beige wood,
Hmm.
and they're tall. And connecting uh, two of the towers on either side of the river is a huge wooden bridge, and then beneath them is a series of docks, also crafted from this beige wood. And a variety of crafts are moored in the river and at the docks, mostly elven vessels, but some visiting merchants from afar as well.
Hmm. Okay.
Pull up your
I
caravan or your
yeah.
wagon.
I dismount. I tell Bates to wait here. And do I need to pay him? Gave him 3 gold already. I also say that I will send someone to make sure that he gets back to the city uh, comfortably, and that he should stay with my family there. They will put him up as long as he needs. Fingers crossed. And I hand him 7 gold, which is the remainder of my gold for his troubles.
You're out
Uh,
of gold, huh?
oh no, I still have 90 platinum.
I know. I mean, but you're out of gold. That's important.
Oh yeah, I go
Some
out of gold very
sometimes
frequently.
sometimes tough to buy things with gold or without gold.
Yeah.
Like if you need to like buy a new dagger, what you can do? Give him a ruby and ask for 4,999 gold back.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We should be okay. Um, I give Bates's horse a playful rub on the neck, a pat on the face, and start looking around for a ship. Also, how many days have passed since our last fight, just in terms of HP regain?
With the brigands, it was 1, 2, 3. You gain 3 HP.
Okay, I'm at 22 then. Okay, I start poking around looking for a merchant, not a merchant vessel, a passenger vessel that is heading for the Southern Isles. Specifically, we will start in Sashenhold?
Ashtonholt is not a port city.
No, but I will look around. I will ask around. Well, I ask Michelle if a vessel were to go to Ashenport, how would they get there? Would they go to Seagate first? Or would they? Is there a dock nearby? I seem to recall seeing a dock south of Ashenport, an abandoned one.
Yeah, most of those are just small, and that's on the wrong side of the island. Seagate is the port city that connects the Southern Isles with us up here in the north.
Well, we won't. We're gonna have to probably go there eventually, so might as well make our return to Seagate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, surely no one remembers us there. It's been how long has it been? A few months?
Yeah, that
Maybe
sounds about right. A few months.
4 or 5 months, maybe. Maybe.
And you
Whatever.
didn't. What did you?
I didn't do anything wrong there. There's nothing.
Yeah,
No
you
one's
aren't.
looking for me. It's totally legit. Everything is copacetic.
Don't say that like you're lying. I mean, there's a few loose ends, but it's not like you are a wanted man.
I may. God, I don't know if you remember this, but I may have told Michelle that what's his name was dead, that I killed him.
That okay. You're not sure if he's dead.
Oh God, he's probably alive.
What's
The
his
poison I gave him was
Stephen was his Prince Stephen, or
yeah, the
not Prince
poison I gave
Stephen.
him was
He
debilitative.
styles himself a prince, but he's actually the Duke's son. So I don't even know if I don't even know if that gives him a title. But in Seagate, he's the prince.
Yeah, yeah. I may
Yeah,
have told her that he
you
is
may
dead
have give
now.
You may have. Okay, yeah. She probably thinks he's dead.
Yeah, I kind of didn't want to tell you that. I'm really afraid of what Michelle might do. But
If she finds him alive,
yeah.
we'll find out.
Okay.
But I
Um,
don't think. I mean, you left a trail of death and destruction in your wake, but I don't know that you ever, if you were ever explicitly implicated in any of those crimes.
I don't think so.
And you got all your old guild buddies to
Kill.
help you out to kill. All right. So, anyways, Michelle tells you you'll be looking most likely for a ship to Seagate.
I'd look for a ship to Seagate.
And you ask around. Oh, there it goes. What's it say? Floor dice count.
If it's in my favor. Otherwise,
You have to
no.
decide without knowing.
No, floor dice don't count.
It was in your favor. You screwed up.
Oh, fuck!
Rerolling. There are no ships currently docked that are going to Seagate.
This is an unexpected problem.
Yeesh. And no one knows when one will be there.
Okay.
So you may have to hang around this port city for a couple of days before, or who knows. I mean, maybe ships come and go every day. So
Are there any locations, docks, ports between here and the Southern Isles?
I don't think so, actually. I don't have my world fleshed out enough to be able to tell you definitively. I mean, of course I do. I know exactly what's going on. I'm the GM, right?
Right.
Um, sure, but it may. I mean, you could head to a. There will be a port city on this mainland somewhere south
Okay. Are there any
that you could
ships
port
heading
hop
there?
to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Let's what
So
do you
you
call them?
can,
Puddle jumpers?
yeah, you can do something like that.
Yeah, I'll take a puddle jumper down to the south. It's not a pond jumper, it's not a puddle skipper? The fuck
Puddle,
is the name for an airplane that goes from like small town to small town? Or is it puddle
puddle,
jumper?
puddle jumper is fine. Yeah,
Okay.
that's a word. That's a term that people say.
Okay, cool. I find a puddle jumper to go south.
Um. Okay. Yes, there is a ship heading, excuse me, to Westdeed, which is a city some ways to the south on the same continent. Are we where'd the map go? I will even draw it. God, what a mess I've made of things. So many different layers.
Ooh, Ryan's drawing us stuff on a map. That was a Love Bites overlay for a moment.
I am making up towns for you to visit.
Speaking of Love Bites, have you guys seen the Love Bites episode with Ryan? There's
That's
some
old,
very good one-liners from there.
that's old news.
Oh yeah, it's old news, but it's still fantastic. The eat steak, go to the gym is one of my favorite lines from all the Love Bites. There you go.
Words
There's
to
the
live
link.
by. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, man, that's got
No,
like 1,500 views on it.
no, Drizzt, there is no copy of this world map anywhere. I take your screenshots now. I just doodle as I go along. Least prepared DM ever.
That's only because they don't see my lack of preparation for my D&D campaigns. Yeah, it's
Kidding, have you
totally an epic story arc that has, continuity and not just things I make up from week to week.
have you seen your world map though?
No,
That's
that's
pretty
true.
epic.
Yeah, it's pretty epic. Except for the fact that I hate it and it makes me sad.
That's no fun.
I don't like how all the cities are on stupid roads. It doesn't make any sense. I kind of wish I did it without any roads and I just placed cities in different places and then just imagined a road network between them. If I could redo all of that map, I would just remove all the roads, place
No
towns as I want. I'd
roads.
just put big towns. I'd skip all the small ones, or maybe like put them in with small dots, and just draw terrain. I think the roads are a terrible idea.
Well, someday you can do a campaign that's not in the world of Solemn.
It's
Mm.
true,
Would that rock your world?
dude. We might do New World one day. Anyway, has that given you enough time to finish up your map?
I just added a square. There's not much to it.
Oh, I was trying to kill time to let you map.
Oh no. I was no. That's it. That's all you get.
Oh, okay, cool.
If you want to go explore inland from there, we can draw out the rest of the map, but
I have no desire. Let's go to Wasted.
wasted.
Let's go. Westeed.
It's actually pretty close.
4 to 5 miles.
I think I should make it further, but that'll be fine.
A knot is like what, 1.2 miles per hour? 1.
Something like that. Are you doing 8 knots to miles per hour? That's
Yeah, 'cause the
exactly
ship
what I
goes
did to
about.
calculate distances.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's a little, I think it's like 1.1.
1.5,
Okay.
1.2.
So you'll be there before the end of the day, and you might be able to immediately find a ship to Seagate.
Perfect. Let's go to Wasted.
That's how I calculated how far Seagate was, actually. I did the same Google search you did. Look, how fast does a galleon go? And then I multiplied that by the number of days I told you it took. And I came up with the like close to 500 miles or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it was like 2 nights, I think, 3 days. In any case, you board an Elven vessel to Wested.
All right.
And you travel through the day, keeping sight of shore the whole time. This ship heads.
I want
Yeah.
to ask the captain if he or she has heard of the infamous Lady Denna.
He looks a little nervous and he says, "Aye, that bitch is a terror on the seas."
What? Tell me what you know of her. In the last dock port I was in, my vessel passed hers, and one of the sailors pointed her out to me at the helm.
Well, she's more of a smuggler than a pirate, I guess you would say. Most captains have no need to fear her, although we do steer clear.
Hmm.
Um,
This
but
explains
she
much.
but she commands fear and respect from many that have served with her.
Have you served with her?
Oh God, no,
You're not just saying that because you're in good company, right?
no, no. Few make it out of her employ alive,
Hmm.
and that may be the reason for all of the rumors.
Okay, that's it.
Um, yeah, yeah, that's about all he has to say there. Nothing about lizards. You're ahead of the rumors. You could get him started.
Hmm. I was thinking about it, but with Michelle on the ship, I don't know if I want to start rumors. I don't want to reveal how close my relationship is with her.
All right. So, uneventful. After a few hours, so yeah, I assume you didn't need to rent a cabin or anything. So if you just pay 2 gold a head, he'll let you pop aboard his ship for the day.
Cool.
Actually, that's on 1 gold a head is fine. 2 gold total is fine. Do you have 2 gold?
I give him 2 silver, or 20
Two
silver.
20 silver. Yeah, that's probably actually more what he expected.
Yeah.
And you probably just hang. I mean, you're free to roam around the ship, but you probably just stay on the top deck.
Oh yeah, I don't go under at all.
The captain is an elf. Most of the crew is Elven. There are a few humans. You pass the ship after a few hours, heading north, also hugging the coast. Sailors wave at each other as they pass by. Seems to be another merchant vessel.
Okay. I'm moving my chair, but I'm still listening. I'm just grabbing something out of a drawer.
And by late afternoon, you pull into the port of Wested. It is a medium-sized city, wooden buildings piled high on top of each other. It's built up a sloping shore, surrounded by green, grassy plains. And there is a large dock, at least for a city this size, and a fair few ships at anchor out front. You pull in. It's late afternoon. You are left ashore. Okay. Did you bring all of your stuff, all of your equipment? Can we just establish that before we get too far?
I have brought with me.
Michelle, I think, may have more of an issue because she has a ton of gear, more than has strength to carry.
Yeah, Michelle basically has her spell books, her clothes, components, pearl necklace,
She's
stiletto,
got like a
handbow,
heavy ass
quarrels.
trunk, doesn't she? With
The
like,
trunk is not with her.
where is it?
It's back in our room at.
Traveler's Oasis.
Yeah.
And her armor is also there, right? Or probably her armor's in the trunk, huh?
Her armor's in the trunk. My silver bars are in the trunk, but it's okay because what's his name is hanging out in our room while we're gone.
You trust Mbop with your silver bars? Or rather, you trust Mbop with Michelle's underpants?
Totally. I don't care. Qualnir pretty much just left his silver bars and his ore in the room. Yeah, so Qualnir is missing silver bars and ruby ore. Michelle is missing trunk, harp. Unless it's not a small hand harp, is it? Oh, it's a mini harp in case. She probably doesn't have her harp with her. Yeah. That's that.
Okay. All right, as long as we're clear. All right, so you are in Wested, dropped on the docks late afternoon, looking up at this sloping pile of wooden buildings.
Sorry, the doorbell just rang.
Stacked atop each other.
Sorry to keep moving around. The doorbell rang.
So distracting. So, how's it going, chat? Talking about all of our past campaigns. You know, it is strange how long Qualnir has lasted. I guess it says something for survivability of characters. Dexterity pays. Waiting for the delay. Or does chat just not want to say hi to me? Shane, my world does not have a name that I know of. It is the world. Maybe one day I'll put together a fantasy universe with some sort of theme behind it, but for now I'm just doodling as I go along.
Sorry about that. Our fish died this morning, so some of our friends are coming over so we can give her a little fish burial later.
To mourn.
We showed up earlier. It's not going to be as good as the fish ceremony that we had when Julian's fish died, or not Julian's fish. I don't remember your friend's name. The saltwater.
Oh fish. Yes, we had a fish tank that
had a problem.
I don't know what happened. Yeah, the salinity got low. Oh no, we didn't know that you had to replace. I don't know. We used just like regular water or something like that.
There's a mistake made.
A mistake was made, and the fish started dying. And we were like 15 at the time, and none of us could drive.
Yeah.
So we called Neil in a panic, who could drive, and we were like, "The fish are dying. We need your help." And you drove us. There's a saltwater dispenser outside of one of the pet stores in town, and you drove us there at like midnight to pick up salt water. Some of the fishes were saved.
And the sea anemones were saved.
No, it was not. The sea anemone, that's how we knew it was it something's wrong because the
Oh,
sea
the scene.
anemone literally turned itself inside out.
Oh.
Its guts were just wafting in the water.
Mistakes were made. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Back to the Dungeons and the Dragons.
Back to the Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So you were in this town that I just made up called Wested,
Wested. Hmm.
and I described it several times, and you weren't paying that much attention, so you don't get to hear anymore.
I know. I heard all about
Now
it,
you have
dude.
to tell me what you do.
Well, I start. I dismount from the ship, say goodbye to the captain, and I start poking around on the docks, asking various barkers if any of them are heading to Seagate.
Yes, indeed. Why don't I roll my dice? You do indeed find a captain heading towards Seagate. Now that I have my name generator up, I can actually name these NPCs, can't I?
Name generator. What? No one uses name generators. You just
Do
ask
you never use
chat,
that
and
for
they give
you
you
never
names.
how do you never do that for NPCs in Solemn?
Oh no, I make up on the spot. That's why I get
And they
terrible
went
names.
terribly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fine, I'll go Neil style and make up a name. Captain Yerblum is heading to Seagate on the morrow.
Yerblum. That's such a good.
Actually, that evening he's
All
planning on
right.
leaving 3 hours.
Perfect. I clap my hands together. We would love to head to Seagate. Safe. Money on safe arrival,
Money on safe arrival.
or half
Um,
now, half later if he complains. But I don't offer it up front.
yeah, yes, for half now, half later. Do you want a cabin aboard the ship?
I like to travel in style. Yes.
All right, then it will be 10 gold for the cabin
10 gold per night, or 10 gold for the trip.
for the trip.
Good.
Half up front.
I give him a platinum piece and walk away.
He takes it.
Okay.
What's
Uh,
Yerglum Craigism?
Craigasm. It's the
Craigasm? Is
it's
that
the
something?
face below on the Twitch. It's day 9 going, oh,
Isn't that
or what
JP?
looks to be day 9. Is it JP?
I think it's JP.
It's a default Twitch emote.
I think it's JP.
I don't think it's JP. I think it's day 9. I think when that emote,
It's actually called Yerblum.
it's called Yearblum, yeah. I
Okay,
think
I
when
guess it
that
just doesn't sound.
emote came out, JP wasn't a big enough streamer for them to base off of him, but day 9's always been like super big.
I don't know.
Right? I don't know,
Maybe
guys. Who?
someone in chat can tell us what that Yerblum face is.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, so you have 3 hours in to explore the town of Wested.
Hmm. I have nothing to do here. I don't even care.
Grumble, grumble, grumble. All right, 3 hours later, just as sun is setting, you climb aboard. I guess it's some streamer that I've never heard of, Craig.
What?
It does. I always thought it was JP.
No, dude. This is the face of streamer Craig.
Is that how you know you've made it when you've got your own default Twitch emote?
Pretty much, man. Pretty much.
Okay. So as night falls, as
Oh,
the
he
sun.
doesn't even stream anymore. He stopped streaming in like. Oh, that's a highlight. Yeah, no, his last highlight was from March 2009 or 2013.
Hmm.
He's not even a real person anymore. He's gone forever. Sorry.
He's dead. He Craigasmed to death.
Pretty much.
Um, so just as the sun is setting over the sea, you are setting sail.
Excellent.
Captain Yerblum and his crew of humans.
Yeah, I believe him be.
And you set sail.
How long until we get there?
You expect the journey to be about 2 days.
That's not long at all.
Not long at all. Long enough for me to roll some dice.
Come on, mother of my child.
Say what? What did you call me?
Not you. That's what's her name? The walrus woman.
Oh, Sigoth.
Sagoth.
The very
Yes.
first NPC Quilnir ever met. Okay, so the first night goes uneventfully. I assume you probably sleep in your cabin.
Oh, absolutely.
Wake
Sleep
at
loudly in my
sunrise.
cabin with Michelle.
I guess I have to roll some dice for other reasons.
Give me all the dice.
I'm just kidding. So, following morning, do you come out of your cabin that day or not?
Yeah, I spend the day up on the dock, or not the whole day, but part of the day up on the deck, part of the day in the cabin below. If there's windows on the cabin, I spend more time in the cabin, but if there's not, I spend most of my time on the deck.
There is a small porthole, but
Fucking porthole. I spend almost all the time on the deck during the day.
right, sounds good. Michelle as well. She gets some sideways glances from the crew, but no trouble.
Okay. Gaining HP, gaining HP. Anything happened that second day?
Um, nope. No, it's a nice day. The seas are starting to get choppy. It looks like you're heading towards a storm. You hear the crew grumbling about the Southern Isles this time of year.
Anything particularly wrong about them, I ask?
Just shit weather.
Shit, people too. You hear about that
Michelle gives you a
prince of Seagate sort of guy?
yeah, Prince Stephen. He's a
Prince.
bastard.
Yep. That's it.
I hear a month back he beat a prostitute so hard she died. Real scumbag.
Well, yeah, I say nothing. I hold my
One of
tongue.
the, one of the other crew members says that they have to dispose of the prostitutes in burlap potato sacks and take them out with the trash. He goes into a vast criminal conspiracy.
You think the Duke's in on it himself?
It's his son. You have to think he's probably covering up for him.
You mean his brother, right?
Son? Huh?
Brother?
Brother?
What happened to the man who was the Duke of Seagate? Stephen was the brother, I thought.
Stephen is the son of the Duke.
Are you sure? I'm pretty
Yes, I'm
sure he's
positive.
the brother. The younger brother.
Qualner's got his genealogy all confused, and he's having an argument with the sailor. The sailor's actually not confident, and he backs down.
Colner's confused. He looks at Michelle. Brother?
Son,
Excuse me.
the Duke's brother is in Brinton.
I ask.
Actually, no, sorry. Well, you killed one of the Duke's brothers, his half brother, the Lord of Ashenholt.
Speaking of Ashenholt, I was going to ask next. What say you of the news of Ashenholt these days?
To one of the sailors.
Mm-hmm.
Oof, it's gone downhill. That's
I had heard that the previous Lord of Ashenholt was murdered.
He was, and his bastard son swept in and took the place over. Um, Seagate's men ran them out of town, but they torched the place on their way out.
What happened to the people?
The common folk,
Mm-hmm.
most fled when they when they saw trouble brewing. Those that were lucky enough to get left behind, many got caught in the aftermath.
Is
Um,
Ashenholt even a place anymore? Has it all been
sure,
burned to the ground?
it's still there and being rebuilt, but it's kind of a mess.
Well, hope I don't have to go there. Say, about 4 months back, 3 or 4 months back, you didn't happen to take another elf, an elven girl, by the name of Awell anywhere, did you? Just a long shot here.
Name doesn't ring a bell.
Okay. Um, there was also another place. Hold on. There was Ashenhold, Brinton. What of Brinton these days? How did they get involved in the Ashenhold Seagate stuff?
I don't think they were involved, but yeah. No news from Brinton.
Okay.
Um, yeah, some of the sailors express some disdain that the king at Brinton did nothing to, it didn't intervene.
The King of Brinton?
Yes, Brinton is sort of the capital of the Southern Isles.
I was actually unaware of that.
I don't think did I call him. I don't know. We'll see if I've contradicted myself. But it is a larger seat of power than Seagate.
And
But it is
Michelle wanted to get me away from Brinton? That bitch.
it's landlocked and it's a castle, not necessarily a thriving city.
Oh, that's why. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'm copying Michelle's character sheet from a shitty character sheet to a good character sheet because there's like so much crap on here that it's impossible. All right, well then I'm ready to land at Seagate whenever you are.
Well, the ship can only go so fast. So that second day goes by uneventfully, and night comes. You go to your chamber,
Mm-hmm.
and go to sleep, or rather, you don't sleep. Alrighty. How many men does it take to crew a galley?
A lot. A galley takes a lot because I take it it's a road galley, not a wind galley, right?
It's got sails.
Okay.
Oh wait, a galley is a type of ship propelled mainly by rowing.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a galley then.
Okay. Most ships were row ships.
Yeah.
Oftentimes we think of ships
Okay.
and synonymous with sails, but most ships are powered by men.
I guess galleys have ships and sails. Okay. So there's probably hundreds of crew.
Yeah, but most of them are lowly rowers who make like a silver a week.
Yeah. Okay. So you are. Let's see what time of night it is. 8. So it's the middle of the night. You're fast asleep, and you are awoken by a blood curdling scream from above the deck.
I throw on my chain armor as fast as
Followed
possible.
shortly by several more.
I grab my chain armor and I head up.
You put it. So you spend a few minutes putting it on.
I will don it hastily, which reduces its AC by 1, but only takes 1 round to put on.
Mm-hmm. So okay, reduces AC by 1. Okay.
Yeah.
What does Michelle do?
She has her Vem braces, so
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't need to do anything. She grabs her weapons and her crossbow and her bolts and waits for Qualnir, and then the three of them go up.
Okay. You don't actually need to go. Actually, yeah, you go up a staircase and you step out in the aft castle aboard the deck, and you roll a perception check.
Okay. RD20 plus 9, although I bet if I just stand here long enough, I'll figure it out. 26.
26. Okay,
Even
the
if this
first
is.
thing, so just in front of you, you see two sailors um, fleeing for their lives as.
As
Okay. They are being pursued by a fearsome-looking humanoid creature. It's roughly man-sized, but thick and heavily muscled, with a mane and covered from head to toe in fur. In the darkness, you have a hard time making out more features, especially in the heat of combat. But roll initiative, or rather, don't, as everyone else rolls initiative. Michelle still needs to roll initiative, and you need to declare an action.
okay, Michelle is making a shot with her crossbow.
So this is like just like 5 feet in front of you.
Yeah, she gets a 9 on initiative. I guess I should. I don't have what spells she's memorized, so I will use the last spells she memorized, which were not on this list anymore. Color spray, detect magic, friends, and insatiable thirst are her spells.
Sounds good.
But she is using her crossbow bolt this round. And Qualnir goes first.
If he's using his short sword, yes.
Okay. So Qualnir will dart forward towards the strange humanoid creature with his short sword for a 19, natural 18.
All right, you close this creature. It smells like salt and blood. 19 cuts deep into his furry hide.
It's a normal, medium creature, right?
Yeah, he stands just a hair. He's about your height, actually.
Okay, because Qualnir's like 5'7", 5 feet tall, flat.
Yeah, so you slash into him, and okay, he's a little taller than you. It's like 5.5 feet. Turns to face you. He looks like the face of a wolf, and a long shaggy mane. Wolfmen on the sea.
Was that a crit? Does 19 clear by 5?
It was a natural 19?
It was a natural 18.
Oh. No, it does not clear by 5.
8 damage from the short sword. And Bloodletter comes in with a 12, which is a miss.
8 damage, you said?
Yes.
Ooh. You bring him to a knee. He gives out, "You will die." And you miss with Bloodletter.
Yep.
Um,
Gotta give Michelle some better weapons.
He instead turns his attention to you, ignores the sailor he left screaming and half maimed. He snaps at you and misses, and lets out a howl. Sailors go next, and they just run for their lives. So the 2 sailors near you were given a chance to escape.
Okay. Michelle, on her turn, should change who I'm rolling as. Shoot her crossbow. I think that's at +2 for her. 18, natural 16.
Sinks in.
1 damage.
It's enough to finish this creature off.
Excellent. They don't need magical weapons to hit.
Just a second.
That rules out the possibility it's a werewolf. Unless it's a Ryan werewolf.
Hold on a sec.
Or unless he's just now realizing that werewolves take magical items to hit. But I don't think that's the case.
My chalk. Sorry, what was that?
No. I was lying saying that it was a werewolf. But it's not.
Okay. Across the deck of the ship, you can see another werewolf wreaking havoc on the crew over there. Whoa. Hold on a sec. Okay, he totally missed you, but they get more than 1 attack. Yeah. He... Across the deck, a werewolf just goes to town on one of the crew members, eating him alive as he screams into the night.
But
Next
they're not
round.
werewolves. They're not werewolves, Ryan.
They're men. They're half man, half wolves. What would you call them?
Wolf wares?
Wolf wares? No, wolf wares are wolves that can turn into men.
Yeah, but wolf wares can be hit by normal weapons. In fact, they can only be hit by iron or magic weapons. They cannot be affected by silvered weapons.
Neil thinks he knows everything.
Whereas werewolves are only hit by +1 weapons or silver weapons that are fully silver, not just plated in silver. And since Michelle was able to bring in a finishing blow, therefore they must not be able to be true werewolves. That said, maybe they were conjured into werewolves, so they're only a part werewolf, which means they wouldn't get the magical resistances. But then why would a section of magically enchanted or magically created werewolves be working together? Much less, how would they be created? Or maybe they're just Ryan werewolves that don't obey the D&D book rules, because why would you? Make your own
Or
wolf.
maybe Neil doesn't have every page of the Monsters Manual memorized.
No,
Anyways, next round.
Next round, Qualnir. Is it just the one? Like the
There's one in front. Oh yeah, the one in front of you dead. There's one on the other side of the ship. That's all you can see.
Okay. Qualnir calls out.
Someone just posted a GIF of that interview in Control did, and it was literally the exact same voice there. The
Face. Yeah.
Yeah. And Jeff's just like his face. Oh, that video is so good.
Oh man, it was fantastic.
Right. Okay. Sorry.
Qualnir calls out across the ship.
Actually, roll initiative if you're not engaging in melee combat.
Ooh.
So you strike.
He was just gonna give a verbal command and then charge in if there was no response.
Okay.
If you still want to roll.
Talk as a free action, but unless you are, if you are engaging in melee with your short sword, you go first.
I am.
Otherwise, you have to roll initiative for other actions.
I walk towards him with my short sword drawn. Say, I'll roll initiative then.
You have to declare at the beginning of the combat round. If you declare at the beginning of the combat round, I attack with my short sword, you immediately go.
I attack with my short sword, but before I get to him, I wish to speak. I will actually delay myself so that I can walk slowly. I don't mind not
I'm not going to let that fly.
Okay, initiative is natural 1 plus 1 is 2.
Okay, you still go first.
But... Cool. I speak to the not werewolf. You had best be leaving my ship, or I will cut you to shreds like your friend above. Because I'm going down after the aft castle. Aft castle, yeah.
I will feast on your flesh.
I close with him.
You will feel my pain.
5. And then Bloodletter comes in. Oh, I didn't even attack with Bloodletter. Oh, I did last time.
Yeah,
for an 18.
18 will hit.
For 3 damage.
It nicks this lycanthrope, who lunges back at you. What was Michelle's initiative?
Oh, she did not roll initiative. I'm terribly sorry. She is actually going to cast Insatiable Thirst on the creature. So that is... She goes at 9.
Okay, he goes first. And lunges at you. With a bite and 2 claws. Nope, 12 does not hit. He misses. And you hear a splashing and a couple of loud thumps as more monsters climb upon the ship.
This sailing music is just not doing it. It is like too happy.
Battle music. You catch a glimpse of a seal-like creature flopping onto the deck, but with the head of a wolf and a mane. And it starts spazzing out, and you hear the cracking of bones as it slowly morphs its flippers into legs and arches its back painfully as it stands to 2 feet in humanoid form and leaps into the fray. 3 more creatures pile on deck, so now there's 4 that you can see. Michelle's turn.
Damn it. I was trying to think of a good kissed by a rose joke that I could make with referring to Shell as seal.
Okay.
Kissed by a rose?
Just
Too far out, yeah.
Just cast the spell.
Okay, she cast the spell. Insatiable Thirst. He just needs to make a saving throw versus spell.
Okay. That is a fail. The one in front of you.
No, the one that was transforming.
Okay. Okay. One of them was transforming. 3 climbed aboard, already in hybrid form.
Right. We're talking about the transforming one.
Okay, sure. Roll initiative again.
Okay. Volnir is not doing anything other than attacking. Michelle.
The crew is scattering in a panic. Yeah, the ship's erupted into chaos.
Michelle goes at 14. Qualnir is meleeing.
All right, Qualnir goes first. Yeah, so go. Make your attacks.
All right. D20 plus 1 with the short sword. 18.
Is a hit.
6 damage.
Just enough to finish this guy off.
Withdrawing his short sword from the dead seal man, Qualnir takes Bloodletter in hand and approaches the closest one, who I have no idea who it is.
Yeah, you're able to close with 1.
How close is this one to the edge of the ship?
He's just climbed aboard. So
Okay.
he just leaped over your side of the railing.
All right. Qualnir says, "Get off my ship!" and stabs at him for a 16.
He turns to you and smiles. A 16 hits.
For 4 damage. I was hoping I could critical him and then say, "Get off my ship," and then push his dead body into the water. It didn't work.
4 damage. Okay. He says, as he lunges at you. Ooh, landing a claw attack.
Ooh,
For 2 damage.
that bastard. Oh, yeah, how much did I gain from Bloodletter's last hit?
How much damage did you do?
3. I guess I gained 1.
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
1 runs at Michelle. Ooh, a hit. What is her AC? Does a 14 hit?
14 hits exactly. Her AC is 14.
Ooh. So 1 crit and 1 hit. Save versus
Michelle?
death.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
She takes 3 damage from the crit.
Ooh.
Floor rolls don't count, apparently.
Natural 20 on her save.
Nice. So total of 5 damage.
Okay. Michelle has 8 remaining. So there's 2 people on Michelle? This is not good.
1 on Michelle.
Okay, 2 attacks per round.
Yeah, they bite and slash. 1 goes to town on a crew member. Oh dear God! Double crits.
Oh,
Crit with his
God.
bite. A crit with his. I want to roll just to see what happens. So 5. I guess it's not that much damage. Only 8 points of damage. In any case, the poor sailor is shredded, and the beast just bathes in his entrails
Ugh.
and howls.
Okay, give me just 1 second. Hold on.
We're in the
1
middle of battle, dude.
second. I just gotta say goodbye.
All right, quick. While Neil's away, I am gonna have these sea wolves eat his entire crew.
Sorry. Had to be done. Had to be done. Could not be avoided. I apologize.
So while you were away, Chat and I decided that the sea wolves ate the entire crew, and now you're screwed.
Fuck.
Okay, so several more of these creatures climb aboard the ship. You're not entirely sure how many are on board at the moment, but it seems like maybe a half dozen.
Okay.
One of them actually has gone below deck, and you can hear screams from the oarmen below.
Okay.
And
Okay, I got it. I know what we're doing.
hold on just a second. I haven't. Okay, the sea wolf that had insatiable thirst leaps back into the water
Okay.
and begins guzzling seawater.
Initiatives.
Michelle hasn't gone, I don't think.
Oh, perfect. She takes a half move backwards if the other guy doesn't close with her, and
They
fires.
are closed. What do you mean?
Like if she steps back and they don't pursue, she will step back and take a shot with her crossbow.
He actually doesn't. He lets her like he bounces to another crew member.
Okay.
So they seem more interested in just causing as much carnage as possible. They're not. They do a lot. I mean, a crew member doesn't have a lot of life, so a lot of times they'll kill them in one fell swoop. But
Right.
they seem. I mean, they'll scratch one guy and they'll run and attack someone else, and
Okay.
they're just running around the deck of the ship, causing chaos.
Okay. Michelle turns to take a shot at the guy that Qualnir wounded. Then.
Okay.
8 is a miss, and erase a bolt from her character sheet.
You only get one attack per round with the.
Hand crossbow's 1 per round. It's really terrible.
You're supposed to use it with poison.
Yeah. Well, she has a second weapon, a third weapon slot that is unused that I should use.
Two-handed greatsword.
Dainty little woman, giant fucking sword.
Hey, bards can use any weapon.
Really? Any weapon?
Yeah. Any weapon.
Oh, because normal thieves can't. They're limited.
Nope. Bards can use any weapon and wear any armor.
Well, shit. Michelle
Quote.
should get a two-handed sword and just be
I suggested that ages ago, and you laughed in my face.
Well, I don't think it was a reality. I didn't think at the
No,
time
I said
that
the
she
same thing. I quoted the player's handbook that bards
Well,
can use any weapon and use any armor.
I've
You
matured
laughed
since
in
then,
my
Ryan. I'm a
face.
better person now.
Or you just realize how awesome it would be to have a tiny girl with a huge sword.
I think tiny girl, huge sword is a thing now. We should...
Next round.
Next round, okay. RD10 plus 1 for Michelle. She goes at 10. And Qualnir is still meleeing away.
All right. Qualnir is not near him, but he can close with one. You see.
I thought I was standing right next to someone who was at the edge. Yeah. Okay, Qualnir makes his attack. 12. It's a miss. And an 18.
12 is a miss, yes. And an 18 is good.
That is 8 damage, or I'm sorry, 6 damage on top of the 4 the target already received.
Yeah, that finishes him with a bloodletter.
And that regains Qualnir's HP.
Yes, your vampire dagger drinks 3 HP. I can throw.
Fantastic. All right. And then Michelle goes at 10.
All right.
Wait a minute, how did... No, never mind, I'm crazy.
How did what? Go first.
Michelle goes next?
Yep.
She looks for an area with the most people clumped in a 20 by... a 5 by 20 by 20 wedge? She's color spraying.
Okay. You have to close. Get closer. Most she can hit is 2. They've
That's
sort
fine.
of spread out, and they're. Yeah, you can only see 4 on the deck, and there's 1 below deck.
Okay. Are you on Wi-Fi?
I am not, but am I skipping out or something?
Yeah,
like
it's Skype then. If it's either your... Yeah, if it's not Wi-Fi, then it's just Skype being shitty.
Yeah, everything looks fine from my end.
That's fine. You just sound a little funny and you look a little funny. Well, Michelle...
As usual.
Yeah, Michelle casts Color Spray. I don't think there's anything she can roll. Creatures who hit dice or levels are less than or equal to the spellcaster's level are struck unconscious for 2d4 rounds.
Saving throw?
They get saving throw. Wait.
Oh.
Yeah. Wait, no. Creatures not allowed or failing saving throws. Okay. So all creatures above the level of the spellcaster and all those of 6th level or 6 hit dice or more are entitled saving throw versus spell. So that means if they don't have 6 HD or are 6th level, then they do not get a save.
Well, shit. She knocks 2 of these guys unconscious.
Oh, she has to actually, hold on. She rolls d6 to see how many creatures she affects. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a chance that it was only one.
Both of them are knocked unconscious, and the sailors look thankful of her not being eaten alive.
Cool.
And no.
Oh.
No. So there's none next to you. There are two unconscious. There's only one left on the deck. He sees Michelle knock his friends unconscious, and he leaps for her. Missing with his bite, missing with the claw. 15 hits with the other claw for 1 point of damage. Random question, spoiler alert. With lycanthropes, do you roll to see if their victims are cursed with each attack, or total damage at the very end?
Total damage at the very end. You.
It says 1% point of damage.
I've always done total damage at the end. I think the book gives an example in the lycanthrope area where if you got hit for 4 damage at this point and then another 4 damage later, it would be this total.
Okay.
Because otherwise you're compounding it, which is a lot more powerful.
Yeah. Well, but if you take more than 100 damage, you're automatically lycanthrope.
Mm-hmm. But if you take more than 100 damage, you're probably dead anyway.
It's like JP's character in Solemn, if he's doing battle rolls and constantly being healed throughout the battle, he could take more than 100 damage.
That's true, but it would be rough. It'd be real rough to get 100 points of damage in. 100 points of healing would be rough. Because your heal spells are so shitty.
You can make it work.
Yeah. I guess Qualnir could take 100 points of damage with Bloodletter.
Yeah. So that's that. There's one closed machine. There are two unconscious on their feet, and there are screens below deck.
Okay. You're kind of cutting out, and I missed that, but I take it there's one person on deck left that's not unconscious?
This is really making me mad. Want to restart the Skype call or something?
Yeah, let's restart. You know what? I think we're actually going to go to break. We'll see you guys after the break. Hold on. Let me fix this stuff.